All relationships are a value exchange. Have you ever felt that the older we grow, the quieter we become? Conversations fade, relationships slow down, and even we ourselves no longer feel the need to explain too much. I used to fear that silence until I realized growing up means finding peace within it. We no longer need too many people around us, only a few who truly understand us. We don't need to please everyone, only to live honestly with our own feelings. And when we look back, we see everything that came and went, whether people stayed or left, has left a mark. A lesson, a reminder, or a gentle glance that made us a little more mature. If you're going through a phase where everything seems to be changing, then slow down a little and walk with me through these quiet stories. Fragments of growth, of loss, of gratitude, and letting go. 1. Every relationship needs balance to last. When I was young, I thought sincerity alone could keep any bond alive. But the longer I lived, the more I understood sincerity isn't enough. Every relationship, whether friendship, work, or love, only lasts when both still bring value to each other, sometimes joy, trust, or simply the peace of being near. I once had many friends. We dreamed together, shared everything. But time passed, each had a life to live, a family, a job. We drifted apart, not because of anger, but because our lives moved at different speeds. I realized distance doesn't mean indifference, it just means we've taken different roads. Love is the same. It starts with emotion, but to endure, it needs harmony in values and in how we live. Not material compatibility, but spiritual resonance. When two people look in the same direction, love becomes effortless. Now, I no longer grieve when someone leaves. I've learned every relationship arrives to teach us something about love, giving, and growing up. And above all, when we live with value, the right people will find us. 2. Friendship, from closeness to distance. Some days, I scroll through my phone, hundreds of names, and still don't know who to call. Not because I have no friends, but because there's no one I can truly pour my heart out to anymore. When we're young, friendship feels eternal. We laugh, talk endlessly, share the smallest things. But time passes. People build careers, families. Conversations fade, meetings grow rare. One day, only polite messages remain. I used to feel sad, thinking I'd lost them. But growing older, I realized distance doesn't erase love, it just means each of us is walking our own path. Friendship is like water, it doesn't try to stay, but it keeps flowing quietly. Some people pass through our lives gently, yet leave deep silence within us. Instead of regret, I've learned to be grateful that we once walked side by side. Now, I no longer seek a crowd, just a few honest souls who can listen without judgment. Because sometimes, presence itself is the greatest gift between friends. 3. Marriage, where love must be nurtured by understanding. I once thought loving deeply was enough to last forever. But growing older, I realized love and marriage are two different journeys. Love is emotion, marriage is choice. And for that choice to last, it needs more than feeling, it needs harmony, respect, and understanding. I used to believe compatibility was outdated. But after seeing many couples break apart, I understood people don't separate because they stop loving, but because they stop understanding. Different mindsets, backgrounds, or lifestyles can turn small things into great distances. Love begins beautifully, but only shared values keep it alive. Marriage doesn't have to be perfect, only balanced. A place where both feel heard, respected, and free to be themselves. No one stays because of promises, but because of how we treat each other. When you learn to love yourself and live kindly, you create an energy that makes others want to stay. Marriage, after all, isn't the end of love, it's a new chapter where two souls learn to grow together. 4. 2 generations, 2 ways to love. I grew up in a traditional home. My parents believed marriage meant, once chosen, you endure. No matter the hardship, they stayed, not because of endless passion, but because of duty and care. Later, I realized their generation and mine see love differently. They loved with patience, we love with freedom. They stayed, even in pain, fearing society's judgment. We leave when peace disappears. Neither right nor wrong, just two ways of defining happiness. I used to think divorce was failure. Now I see, sometimes, it's courage. Courage to face the truth that love has changed, and to choose oneself again. Staying, too, requires strength when two people truly want to heal and rebuild. It doesn't matter whether we stay or go, what matters is whether we're honest with our hearts. Some stay silent to keep peace, even when warmth is gone. Others walk away, not from hate, but to stop hurting each other. Love has no formula, but in any era, what sustains it is always respect and kindness. 5. Self-worth, the root of every relationship. There was a time I felt left behind. People drifted, bonds faded. I thought it was their fault, that they changed, grown cold. But with time, I saw, every relationship lasts only as long as we still hold value in each other's eyes. Value isn't wealth or status, it's the energy we bring, comfort, understanding, sincerity. If we only take without giving, connections fade. In youth, I blamed others for changing. Now I know, everyone grows. When we stop growing, and others keep moving forward, distance naturally appears. So instead of holding on, I learned to build myself up. I read more, slowed down, listened better, appreciated more. And when I became calmer, the world around me did too. The right people stayed, not because I chased them, but because peace attracts peace. In the end, I realized every relationship mirrors who we are. When we live kindly and with purpose, the right souls will always find their way to us. Final message: not everyone who leaves is a loss. It took me years to learn how to let go. Whenever someone left, I asked why. What did I do wrong? What wasn't enough? But one day, I understood, some people come only to teach us something, not to stay forever. We've all had connections that left a mark, a close friend, a deep love. But people change, paths diverge. Not betrayal, just life unfolding. Silence, I realized, is also a form of respect. No need for blame or loud goodbyes. Just two people quietly walking toward their own peace. Every encounter carries meaning, joy or sorrow, it shapes us. Some teach us love, some teach us release, others teach us strength. Now, I no longer hold regret. I trust that when I live well, kindly, sincerely, those meant to meet me will, even if late. And when someone leaves, I simply smile, thank them for stopping by, and keep walking gently toward my peace. Closing reflection. Life never truly takes anything away, it only gives us new lessons, how to love, how to let go, how to understand ourselves. In the end, every relationship reflects who we are. When we live kindly, gently, and truthfully, the world responds the same way. I don't know where you are in your journey, holding on, letting go, or learning to stand alone, but I believe each of us will find our own quiet happiness. Slow down a little. Listen to your heart. You'll see, no one truly leaves us. They simply finish their role in our story. If these words remind you of someone, or a moment in your life, share your thoughts with me in the comments below. I'd love to listen, slowly, quietly, and sincerely, just like we're talking over a cup of tea.